on getting this motor cinched up and installed in this case, and we'll see how far we get on that before it gets a little too cold. So remember, on the last video, I got everything put together with some RTV, and I did not tighten it down completely. I just snugged it up a little bit, and I made sure and I double checked that everything moved freely before we cinch it down tight. That way, if something is wrong, we can easily take it back apart again before putting it back into the case. So let's get this tightened up. Double check that. Don't need to kill it, but snug it up pretty good. That should be good. Excuse me. All right. Just for any precautions, I'm going to put a little bit of paper towel down in that while I'm sticking it through. Excuse me. Well, we've got ice in it. Oh, that's cold. Don't forget to pull your paper towel back out. I've done that before on a car. Put the intake back on and forgot I put paper towels in there. I pulled the intake back off. I'm gonna work on the the oil pump here. Now, all right. So you got this small washer here that needs to go in first. And I do believe it's your worm gear after that. And after that, these little openings up here on the back, they have to match up with those two prongs on the back of the worm gear. And the plastic tabs on that piece needs to line up with the sprocket before you reinstall this bearing for your clutch. You might as well grease it. So you can put a little on there and just take and push it through. It's the same grease I use on my bar. Nothing special about it. All right. Stick like we did before. We're just going to stick the rope in here, and that'll hold everything into place while we tighten stuff up for the clutch and flywheel. Hopefully you guys are liking the content. It's pretty much the kind of the stuff I do. Something I like and I enjoy doing. Been working on this kind of stuff, you know, small engine stuff for 30 years, I guess. Really gotten into two strokes past 4 or 5 years. I really like working on those. You don't have to do a whole lot to get a good response out of them. You know, muffler mod, you get a good response out of them. A little bit of porting, you get good response out of them. You can do more to a two-stroke than you may think you can. Two-stroke can be fairly forgiving. And there's people out there that recondition cylinders and pistons, and I've actually done that myself. You would think you would need to throw it away, and you don't necessarily have to. I actually had a matter of fact, see if I can show you. that McCulloch up there. Somebody brought that to me, and I tore it. It wouldn't run. I tore it down and realized that the cylinder and piston were scoring pretty bad. I let the owner know, and they didn't want to invest the money into it. Once I let them know that it was scoring, they didn't want to do anything else with it at all. But I bet it sat in my floor of the shed for about 2 years in a box. Just got bored one day and just picked it up. Had already seen a couple videos where people had done stuff like that, but it had actually transferred piston metal to the cylinder wall. And I took my time and got it broke away and filed and sanded down, and got those particle bits of metal off of that cylinder wall and cleaned up the piston. And I think the ring was stuck in it, and I got it broke free without breaking the ring. And got everything cleaned up real good and polished up again. And just did a little quick hone in the cylinder, and took the piston and did a little sanding on that just to put a little bit of grooves in it to help hold oil because it was so super smooth, and put it back together. And I've been running that thing for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and I don't run it a whole lot. I don't run it every day, but it's strong. It's got great compression, and it's got an 18-inch bar on it, and I've taken down 20, 22-inch fat pines and that are 100 foot tall. She was strong enough to do that. I might tear it down one day and do some porting on it, but right now it's a 60cc saw. It does pretty good. But it surprised me. And these hoses are routed through here. I want to make sure that they're routed back and not just laid in there any old kind of way. Because you don't want to get pinched up against something and restricting your fuel, causing it to run lean or not run at all. I'm going to put the flywheel on. I'm going to give that crankshaft a good cleaning and take and clean the inside of that flywheel the best I can to remove any oils and give it every chance that it can to grip that flywheel. If you have any oils in it, on it, no matter how tight you get that nut on that flywheel, it may not hold, and you can shear the key off or tear up the inside of the flywheel. You don't want to do that. Wipe everything down good. Make sure it's good and dry and clean. And then we can work on getting this on there and getting her tightened down. So the flywheel's got a keyway. So a keyway is the groove that your key, which is the part that's in the shaft, sets in. plenty good. All right, so if you remember in one of the last videos, when I was taking them apart, I believe it was the first video, I came across these two little plastic bushings, and I didn't realize what they were at first, but they are your coil spacers. Because without them, your coil will run just about off of the flywheel. It might catch about a quarter of the magnet, and you need it to catch the whole thing. So these will raise it up just a little bit to get it to run across the center of that magnet. There. That's all the muffler stuff. Right, I'm pretty sure that these are probably it. So they go on the bottom side of the coil to lift it up a bit. So they'll go on just like that. All right, so you don't want to, they get squeezed between the coil and the engine block. Raises it up just enough for it to go right across that flywheel, right where it's supposed to go. Right across that magnet. We need a set of feeler gauges, and if I remember right, should be set right around 10 thousandths. If I'm wrong, it's not that big of a deal. It's easy to get to, and we can make adjustments afterwards. As much as that feeler gauge as I can in there. There we go. There we go. Cut it loose. Let it pull up against the magnet. Should be okay. I'm going to readjust. I'm thinking it's right around 20 thousandths. I can get an 18 in, but I can't get a 25. I'm gonna go with 30. A lot of stuff that I have, such as my trimmers and other saws, I do them at 30. They seem to run fine just like that. I don't have any issues with them. There we go. Clean this plug up a little bit. have to move it. There we go. Just going to finger tighten this in there right now. Just help keep debris out, keep things clean. We'll worry about snugging it up later. I'll go ahead and put this muffler on next. That'll help keep things clean there. I'm going down into the motor. Alright, for the most part, that seals the motor up. Don't have to worry about debris getting in there.